Alright, so we are live. We're going to do card 3.9 from my personal Legends of Wrestling Fed. I'm going to run down the card for you, kind of give you an idea of what's been going on in my Fed. We've got John Pesek returning from an injury. He was put out of action by Bert Asserati. I think he was put on the shelf for 7 cards, I believe it was. I'd have to look. It was way back, I think here. Or 3.4. Nope. 3.2 maybe. Yeah, 6 cards. By Bert Asserati with a crab hold. And so he's returning to face Orville Brown, who is... he has had one match so far. He is 1-0. He's a fairly strong competitor. So he'll be up against the returning John Pesek. Then we got Farmer Burns versus Emil Dusek. And Emil Dusek is usually found seconding the Dusek Riot squad with his brothers, Rudy and Ernie. But he is going to be on his own in a match tonight when we're going to see how he does. Wild Red Berry will be on the card, taking on Earl Caddock. And Caddock is a fairly solid, I think he's 5-1. Not bad at all. So Caddock really kind of working his way up, maybe for a title shot at some point. And Barry 2-1. We saw him lose last time. Hopefully he'll be able to bounce back. And then we've got the Dusek Riot Squad. This is just going to be Rudy and Ernie Dusek. Emil has got his own match, so he will not be seconding them today. And they're going to be taking on Turkish Gold, the team of the Terrible Turk, and the other Turkish guy whose name I do not pronounce very well. Norula, something like that. So yeah, Turkish Gold will be in there with the Dusek Riot Squad. That should be a crazy one. Both of those teams have a penchant for getting disqualified, so we'll see how that goes. And then we're going to see the NBBW World's Junior Heavyweight title up for grabs when William Muldoon takes on Evan Lewis. And Lewis has been kind of on a tear. He's got 1 loss in his last 5 matches or so. And it was by countout, and he avenged that loss. So basically Lewis has been on a tear, but Muldoon, I believe, is 9-1. He is going on his, he's getting close to having held that junior heavyweight title for 2 years. So that's what we're going to do today. Alright, so let's get into the program and set up the card. We're going to go down here to Book Event. We're going to give it a name here. It's going to be Card 3.9. Year 3, Month 9. And Unknown. Alright, I'm going to move Obsidian over to the other screen so that I can do this without having to switch back and forth. We've got Pesek versus Orville Brown, so we're going to go John Pesek. John Pesek, Tragos Thez. And he is in there with Orville Brown. And we're going to use the PDF Prime 2022 Orville Brown. And we're going to go ahead and add that match. And then Farmer Burns, who is at the tail end of his career here, will be in there with Emil Dusek, who is really just starting out. Go ahead and add that one. And Wild Red Berry. Red Berry, we want the Promoter Prime Berry. And Earl Caddock. And we're going to add that. And the Dusek Riot Squad against Turkish Gold. And so we go Rudy Dusek. Rudy Dusek, where is he at? Come on, Rudy Dusek. There he is. And now we've got Ernie Dusek. And then we have Yusef, Ishmael, and Narula or whatever. Still can't say that guy's name. We'll go ahead and get that all set up. We're going to add that match. And then we've got Muldoon versus Lewis in the main event. William Muldoon from the Tragos Thez set. This is going to be a junior heavyweight title match. And he is in there with Evan Lewis. I'm actually just going to hit F and pick him from there. Alright, so here we go, add match. Those are our 5 matches. I'm going to save the card in case something happens. Alright, now let's get our first match underway. Selecting it and run match. Pesek is not acting as an enforcer, so his special will not be in, it won't be something that we have to deal with, where he gets like the added DQ and all of that stuff. So Pesek and Brown lock up, and it looks like Orville Brown has the upper hand here. And of course Orville Brown attempts a standing armbar on John Pesek. To get us started, Pesek of course reverses it because it's early and these two are going to be feeling each other out, trying to get the upper hand. Pesek with a headbutt, and Brown is hurt. And Pesek and Brown are grappling near the ropes, and they're clinched near the ropes. Orville Brown manages to get free and sidestep John Pesek, catching him in a quick leg sweep. Orville Brown attempts a cross-face arm lock. I meant to roll the dice. And Pesek is hurt. Now Orville Brown could he could back him into the turnbuckle. I forgot to load those stupid things again. We will say no, and then we're going to go and load the tables. I always forget to do these before I start my matches, so let's do that real quick. Load the ropes, load the turnbuckle, load the table again, ropes, turnbuckle, out of the ring. And choice. And now they are loaded. So he's going to roll. He gets a reverse go behind on John Pesek. Pesek reverses and takes control. Now Pesek and Brown are grappling near the ropes. Pesek and Orville Brown are clinched near the ropes. Brown manages to get free and sidestep John Pesek, catching him with a quick leg sweep again. John Pesek learned nothing from that first encounter near the ropes. Brown attempts a crossface arm lock. And Pesek able to free himself from the hold, but not before he earns a fatigue token. Now we've got either a back in a roll on the turnbuckle chart or a bear hug, which is going to work on an 8 or better. I think Brown is going to take the bear hug, which is actually a waistlock suplex. I messed up the text on that. I checked. I just need to go fix it, but I haven't. So Orville Brown executes a waistlock suplex on John Pesek. Pesek is hurt, and Brown attempts a big right hand. Pesek is hurt once again, and another big right hand. He's just punching the crap out of John Pesek. Pesek not going to leave the ring. Pesek is down. And here we go, Orville Brown with that Indian Deathlock, and he gets Pesek to submit. The roll of 5 was required to escape, and Pesek rolled a 3. So your winner, Orville Brown, in a quick opening bout that just saw Brown dominate the returning John Pesek. I guess Pesek was suffering from some ring rust there. Now, going into our next match, which will see Farmer Burns take on Emil Dusek. Farmer Burns and Emil Dusek stare each other down. This is getting tense. That means that the winner will start off on level 2 offense. And Burns and Dusek lock up, and it looks like Burns has the upper hand. And Burns with a hammerlock on Emil Dusek. Dusek gonna roll out of the ring. And of course, we've got that weird thing where you roll out of the ring, but then the ring chart that we're using is doesn't really work that way. So let's see what we can come up with. It says, as Emil Dusek backs towards the ropes, Burns shoves him from the ring. Coleman is clearly upset at us having a talk with Farmer Burns. Farmer Burns got away with a warning. So what we're going to say happened is that Dusek was trying to get back in the ring, and Farmer Burns shoved him off the apron, disallowing him to get back in the ring. Farmer Burns attempts a head and arm throw. Dusek is hurt. And Burns with a hammerlock on Emil Dusek. Dusek rolls his pin. And he was able to get free. 5 required. He rolled in 8. And now Burns with a double wrist lock. And Dusek is down. And now Farmer Burns attempts the chicken wing. Once again, roll of 8 required to escape, and Emil Dusek rolls an 8. So he is definitely lucky to have escaped that one. And now Farmer Burns reverse back body hold on Emil Dusek. Dusek is down once again. Burns not going to throw Dusek from the ring. And Burns attempts a grounded armbar on Emil Dusek. Dusek is hurting. And Burns locks on a toe hold, putting Dusek down. Now, Burns with a reverse back body hold. And Dusek once again going to roll out of the ring to collect himself. In a struggle near the ropes, Dusek falls from the ring. In a display of good sportsmanship, Farmer Burns holds the ropes open. So, Dusek rolled out of the ring to collect himself. Farmer Burns held the ropes open to let him back in. And then Farmer Burns attempts a toe lock. Dusek is hurt. And there's a hammerlock. Dusek once again going to roll out of the ring. In a struggle near the ropes, Dusek falls from the ring. Burns once again holds those ropes open so Dusek can get back in. And now Farmer Burns going to back him into the ropes. Farmer Burns backs Emil Dusek into the ropes. Coleman steps in and breaks it up. Both Farmer Burns and Emil Dusek break clean to the applause of the crowd. Farmer Burns is quick to take control of the match. Burns attempts a hammerlock on Emil Dusek. And Dusek is hurting. And now Farmer Burns going to back him into the ropes one more time. Farmer Burns and Emil Dusek are backed into the ropes. Coleman calls for a clean break and gets it. Farmer Burns catches Emil Dusek off guard with a quick fireman's carry as they both break. And now Burns with a double scissor hold. Dusek is down. And double wrist lock. Dusek is down again. And there's a quarter Nelson on Emil Dusek. Dusek is hurt. And Burns with a double scissor hold again. Dusek is hurt one more time. And Burns with that toe lock. And Dusek is hurt. And double scissors hold one more time. And now there is blood visible on Emil Dusek's face. Is that double scissors hold? Oh, it's the toe lock that's add 1. Every time he does that toe lock, he gets another thing. Dusek busted open. And Burns with a hammerlock. And that's it. Farmer Burns wins the fight with a hammerlock. Emil Dusek was just totally outclassed in that fight. Burns had little trouble putting him away. Our next bout will pit Red Berry against Earl Caddock. And of course, Wild Red Berry. We saw him last night, and he did not fare so well. Earl Caddock is a fierce competitor, and so we'll see if Barry manages to do any better. Red Barry and Earl Caddock lock up, and it looks like Barry has the upper hand. Red Barry attempts a handshake and ambush on Earl Caddock. And Caddock having no part of that ambush and takes control of the match. And he attempts a headlock and armbar on Wild Red Barry. And Barry reverses the move and takes control of the match himself. Now Barry gonna back Caddock into the ropes. They're clinched near the ropes. Caddock manages to get free and sidestep Red Barry, catching him with a quick leg sweep. So Earl Caddock taking control of the fight. And Caddock with a grapevine and crossface on Wild Red Barry. And Barry is not going to leave the ring. And Caddock with a full Nelson on Red Barry. Barry is hurt. And now Caddock locks on that toe hold and armbar. Barry once again hurt, but able to break free. And then Caddock goes right back to it, drops him down, locks on the toe hold and armbar. Barry hurt once again. And now Caddock with a choice move. You could try a hip lock that is going to work on 8 plus or minus agility, which is -1, so that's going to be 7. Or a crotch lift slam, which is going to be 8 plus 2, which is 10. So, of course, we're going to see that crotch lift slam here. And he executes it on Wild Red Barry, and Barry is hurt. He's going to back him into the turnbuckle here. And Caddock backs Wild Red Barry into the corner. Abe Coleman orders Caddock and Barry to break clean, but Caddock throws a wild haymaker at the head of Red Barry. Barry ducks and takes him down with a powerful double leg takedown. And now Barry going to back Caddock into the ropes. And Coleman steps in and breaks it up. Both Earl Caddock and Red Barry break clean to the applause of the crowd. Barry is quick to take control of the match. And Barry attempts a headbutt. And that dazes Earl Caddock. It caught him pretty flush and knocked him back. Red Barry attempts a handshake and ambush. Let's see if this will work. I doubt it. Caddock is too smart for that. Reverses the move, takes control of the match. Who's going to shake the hand of the man who just headbutted him? Caddock with a go-behind takedown on Red Barry, and Barry is down. And Earl Caddock locks on that head scissors and wrist lock. Red Barry is trying to fight the pain as Caddock tightens the hold, and Barry does finally manage to slip free. And now Caddock a full Nelson on Red Barry, and he's got him down for the pin. So full Nelson and then took him down, got the pin. 1 count though on Red Barry. And then Caddock again with the head scissors and wrist lock on Red Barry. He's gonna fight through it again and manage to slip out. He needed an 8 or better and he rolled a 9, so getting real close. Real close. And Caddock goes right back to that head scissors and wrist lock, and Red Barry is forced to give it up. Your winner, and moving one step closer to a possible title match, maybe the Great Gamma's first defense, is Earl Caddock. Now we're in for a tag team match with the Dusek Riot Squad versus Turkish Gold. We're going to go ahead and run this match. Duseks do not have any of, or Rudy and Ernie do not have Emil down there, so it's a fair fight at least, numbers-wise. Dusek and Yusuf Ismail lock up, and it looks like Ismail has the upper hand. And Ismail with a backhand slap on Rudy Dusek. And Dusek reverses the move and takes control of the match. Dusek, despite all the rule breaking, is very much a solid wrestler. Dusek attempts a headlock takeover on Yusuf Ismail. And Ismail is hurt. And Dusek with the headlock and thumb to the throat on Yusuf Ismail, the terrible Turk. And the terrible Turk gonna roll out of the ring. As Rudy Dusek barrels Ismail into the ropes, both wrestlers fall from the ring. Ismail lands on top of Rudy Dusek on the floor. Ismail is able to get back into the ring, and then Dusek manages to make it back in before Coleman counted him out. So I'm going to say that, well, the Terrible Turk was attempting to leave the ring to recollect himself. Dusek came over and they got into a scuffle near the ropes, and then they both fell from the ring with Ismail landing on top of Rudy Dusek. No, he's not gonna. Rudy Dusek has a C ring rating. What the hell is going on there? That's a typo. So yes, he's gonna throw him from the ring. While trying to tackle Yusuf Ismail too close to the ropes, Dusek falls backwards out of the ring and falls headfirst onto the floor. And Dusek is able to make it back into the ring before Abe Coleman counts him out. And the Terrible Turk with a side salto on Rudy Dusek, hurting him. Dusek needs that tag. You grapple the opponent too close to the ropes, so roll on the ropes chart, or double leg takedown. Yeah, Dusek just has all C's, which means that for some reason that never got set up properly. I'll need to do that. Double leg takedown. That's what he's going to do, double leg. And the Terrible Turk is countered by Rudy Dusek. And Dusek makes a tag to Ernie Dusek, and the Dusek Riot Squad hit him with a corner pummel. And the Terrible Turk leaving the ring. As Ernie Dusek barrels Yusuf Ismail into the ropes, both wrestlers fall from the ring. Ismail lands on top of Ernie Dusek on the floor, so that's the second time he's fallen on top of a Dusek. And the Terrible Turk with the body scissors. And the Duseks have a special ability where they can make an illegal switch for a disqualification roll, which is, I think their DQ is 5, so it's actually they're less likely to fail that than they are to fail the tag roll. So he's going to try that, and it works. Ernie Dusek switches with Rudy Dusek behind Abe Coleman's back, and then Rudy Dusek attempts a brawling punches on Yusuf Ismail, and Ismail is hurt. And now Rudy Dusek attempts a headlock and thumb to the throat, and Ismail hurt once again, and Dusek going to make the quick tag to Ernie Dusek coming in, and now Ernie Dusek has got a choice here. He's got the quick foot sweep, which is going to work on 7 plus or minus power. That's going to be a big no. Or he's going to back his opponent into a corner, which is what he's going to take. Abe Coleman orders a clean break, and as Yusuf Ismail is stepping out of the corner, Dusek shoots in with an outside single leg, taking down the Terrible Turk. And now Ernie Dusek attempts a vicious eye rake, and Ismail is hurt. And Dusek with another eye rake, and Ismail is down. And the Duseks attack Yusuf Ismail viciously, and then Ernie Dusek is going for the cover. Would you like to try to save your partner? So that was a double team attack. Not a tag move, but a double team attack where the Duseks just maul him. This is their finisher. It's called the Dusek Riot Squad. It's not a tag move. They can do it anytime they have another Dusek in their corner, whether they be a manager or second or tag partner or whatever. Yes, they are going to try for their pin save. Norula tries to save Yusuf Ismail, but Rudy Dusek cuts him off. Ernie Dusek is pinning. 1, 2, 3. That is going to do it. The Duseks cheat their way to victory over the Terrible Turk and Norula, commonly known as Turkish Gold. Here we are in our main event of the evening, a National Boxing and a National Bureau of Boxing and Wrestling World's Junior Heavyweight title match, which is going to see champion William Muldoon defend against Evan Lewis. And here we go. So Muldoon and Lewis stare each other down. This is getting tense. That means they tied, and the winner will be rolling on level 2 offense. Muldoon and Evan Lewis lock up, and Muldoon gets the upper hand. Muldoon attempts a shoulder throw on Evan Lewis, and Lewis reverses it and takes control of the match. Lewis gonna back him into the ropes. Coleman calls for the clean break and gets it. Evan Lewis catches Muldoon off guard with a quick fireman's carry as they separate. And here we go with a choice move. We can see the single leg takedown, which is going to work on a 6 or better, or the bear hug, which is going to work on an 8 or better. And of course, we're going to do the bear hug. And Muldoon counters it. Muldoon attempts a body slam on Evan Lewis, and Lewis is dazed. Muldoon attempts a single leg trip and control on Evan Lewis, and Lewis is hurt, and Muldoon with a body slam. And Lewis is dazed. Muldoon attempts a flying headmare on Evan Lewis. Lewis is hurt. And Muldoon has a choice now. He can either attempt a duck under takedown 3, which is going to work on 6 plus or minus agility. His agility is 2 or -2, so that's going to work on 4 or better, or 4 or lower. And the front chancery going to work on 7, so we're going to see if he can hit that front chancery. And Lewis counters his attempt. That Muldoon is such a beast. Yeah, no, Muldoon is pretty much unstoppable here. He's been a champion for going on 2 years. He's 3 months shy of 2 years, so 21 months he's been the junior heavyweight champion. And now Evan Lewis attempts a grapevine to shoulder lock on William Muldoon, and Muldoon is hurt. And Lewis attempts a full Nelson. And Muldoon reverses the move and takes control of the match. And now Muldoon with a full front chancery on Evan Lewis, dazing him. And Muldoon, another full front chancery. And Lewis dazed once again. And now Muldoon, a headlock and shake on Evan Lewis, continues to keep Evan Lewis reeling. And Muldoon with a single leg trip and control. And Lewis is hurt. And here we go. Muldoon attempts a hammerlock and half Nelson on Evan Lewis. And Lewis is hurt. And now the hammerlock and half Nelson once again. And he could leave the ring. He is not going to leave the ring, as I do not allow wrestlers to leave the ring unless they have an A ring rating in this era, because it was just not a common occurrence. So Lewis is down. And now a side salto on Evan Lewis. And Lewis is hurt. And Muldoon has a choice move here, duck under takedown. It's going to work on a 4 or lower. Or the front chancery, which is going to work on 7 or lower. We're going to go for the chancery one more time. And Muldoon hits it. Lewis is hurt. And now Muldoon backs Lewis into the corner. Abe Coleman orders a break, and while breaking, Evan Lewis is able to swing Muldoon around into the corner, reversing the situation. And as Lewis and Muldoon are separated by our referee Abe Coleman, Muldoon slips behind Evan Lewis and takes him down with a waistlock throw. Now Muldoon hits that side salto. And Lewis lands perfectly, gets right back up. Lewis taking control of the match, going to back Muldoon into the ropes. And here we go. Muldoon and Lewis are grappling near the ropes. Lewis backs away from the ropes, giving William Muldoon time to secure a devastating crotch lift and body slam. And now Muldoon picks him up. Body lift and throw on Evan Lewis. Here's the pin. 1, 2, 3. A roll of 6 was required, and Lewis only managed to roll a 5. So your winner, and still NBBW World's Junior Heavyweight Champion, William Muldoon. And that is all the action for us tonight. I've got a couple of questions about the application from people. I don't know if they're here now, but I can answer them in case they watch the replay or the video on demand or whatever the hell they call this thing when you watch a live stream later. So the application is not technically public. I do have a Discord for it where you can get it. The Discord is also not public, but I am accepting test. Essentially, it's in testing. So I'm accepting. My guinea pig is yelling at me now, of course, because why wouldn't it while I'm trying to talk? Hush. Shh. All right. Anyway, so I am accepting applications for testers. Basically, there's no application process or anything. You just need to get a hold of me either on the Phil Singer game, the Phil Singer fans Discord, or the Phil Singer boards, or the Phil Singer games group on Facebook. I am Carlzilla on all of those places. And you can get a hold of me and let me know you're interested. The only real requirements is that you're willing to sign up for Discord or already have a Discord account, because that's how the program is disseminated, and that you are using Windows. So if you're interested, you can hit me up. You'll have to make cards. I am more than willing to answer questions and help people make cards, but you will need to make your own cards. They are not shareable. They are locked to the computer that you make them on, which means that people can't just make cards and share them willy-nilly. So, yeah. But if you're interested, you can hit me up in any of those places. I've done some tutorial videos on how to use it. They should be on the channel that you're watching this on. And, yeah. So that should answer those questions. That should be all for me for tonight. I probably will be back around next weekend to do some more streaming. I've got a pretty busy week, so I don't think that I will get on and do any of these during the week. I could be totally off, and maybe I will, but I doubt it. So, until next weekend, or earlier if I get a wild hair, I hope you all have a good one.